Hi, let's talk about Moll-Dur. Okay, Moll-Dur is a phenomenon that you find in a major tonality. It's in a major tonality. If we take a scale of, let's say, C major, and we take the sixth note of that scale, we are going to lower that sixth note. And that is the essence of Moll-Dur. Now, what does that note want to do? It wants to resolve to G. So in what chord would you find an A? Normally you find an A in the 4 chord, in F. And where does that A flat again want to go to? To G. If you look at the F, where does the F want to go to? The F wants to resolve to E. So now, when we have F in a Moll-Dur situation, which is F minor, we have two leading tones. The F wants to go to the E and the A flat wants to go to the G. And that is the essence of Moll-Dur. Now, that in itself is not so complicated. But it becomes a little bit more interesting if we use 7th chords. Let's take the 4th degree in the tonality of C major. The 4th degree as a 7th chord is F, A, C, E. Now if we lower the 6th note of the scale to A flat and the rest we leave, we have F minor major 7. That is Moll-Dur. Now if you say, let me play it an octave lower, it's a little bit more sonorous. If you say, I really don't like that interval between the A flat and the E, because that's an augmented fifth. I find that kind of very grating, that sound. I understand that. Then many composers or players will replace that E with a D. So instead of F minor major 7, they play F minor 6. This is the essence, let's say the more extended essence of Moll-Dur. We find it on the 4th degree. We have a minor 6 or a minor major 7th chord, but not F minor 7. There's nothing wrong with F minor 7. It's a beautiful sound and it's a nice thing to use in C major, but it's not Moll-Dur. It's something else, and we'll talk about that later. So now we have this F minor major 7 or F minor 6 resolving to C. If you would play a melodic line over that, that's a nice line. And what you see is I skip the B problem. Now, if you take Moll-Dur literal, the B is still the B. So you would play but of course that B to A flat creates somehow of a, let's say, a melodic problem. So what many people do is they fill the gap between the C, which is a given, and the A flat, which is a given. They fill it in a normal way with 2 whole steps via the B flat. Then you get this sound. And that's much more attractive. Then, once that B flat starts to become part of the equation, something incredibly interesting happens. If you take that 4 Moll-Dur as a, let's say, a 6 chord, F minor 6, and we put a B flat in the bass, we still want to resolve to C major. B flat 7 with a 9 wants to resolve to C. We call that chord 7 Moll-Dur. And even F minor major 7 with a B flat in the bass is B flat 7 with a 9 and a sharp 11. That is 7 Moll-Dur. And that's really all there is to it. In fact, 4 Moll-Dur and 7 Moll-Dur are completely interchangeable. Or you can say, here is a bar of Moll-Dur, I'll do 4 Moll-Dur and 7 Moll-Dur. Or I see 4 Moll-Dur for a whole bar, I'm going to use 7 Moll-Dur for a whole bar. Nobody cares. It's really fantastically fine. The only thing that you don't do is B flat 7 to F minor 6 or F minor major 7. That's kind of backward, going back in harmony. You don't do that. If I give you an example, for instance, I take All the Things You Are, last A section. Now, what's coming is Moll-Dur. I can do D flat minor major 7 and go to C minor or A flat with a C in the bass. But I also could have done immediately G flat 7. Or I could have done both, D flat minor, G flat 7. Once you have that clarity about Moll-Dur, you will start to see that when people say, I'm going to use D flat minor 7 and G flat 7, and they call that a backdoor 2-5. It gives me the creeps, a backdoor 2-5. The only way you can do that, of course you can do that, it's not Moll-Dur, it's something else. It's borrowing chords from minor. So if I do that, and if you listen carefully, you'll hear that that D flat minor is somehow decadent, or a little bit vulgar, or a little bit bluesy, because that's the beauty of the D flat minor 7, the 4 borrowed from minor. You see that it's a completely different feeling, and it gives you that blue note, which can be a very nice choice sometimes. As long as you're aware of this is Moll-Dur, this is a 4 chord or even a 4/7 chord borrowed from Aeolian, and that's completely fine as long as you're aware of it. Think about it, look through your real book, apply this knowledge next time you start to play standards that feature this beautiful harmonic little jewel. Good luck, and I see you next time.